There are certain fundamental basics as laws that govern life and existence. And these basics apply to everyone, every living creature. And it's all to do with consciousness. Every creature, every living creature, the millions of them, the thousands of species, they have a certain measure of awareness. The foundation of that awareness is along the direction to connect with their immediate environment. And further than that, higher connection. Until such time, their main emphasis becomes continuity of good connection. So it's to connect and to continue. And that's why the issue of procreation is so paramount in every creature. Because truth is ever continuous. The original life from which we have all emerged is perpetual. And it is ever connected in a cosmic way, without us necessarily discerning it. There are different levels of understanding or experiencing connection. I am aware of my body and connection of my limbs and my mind and thought and my feelings. So there is a connection from gross to subtle. And if you are contemplative, then you want to know where have all of these energies emerged from, which is subtle, 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 which we call pure consciousness or God consciousness or any other name you give it. Ultimately, we are all alive and know that we are alive due to consciousness. Now, the level of that consciousness in terms of its subtlety varies. A gecko's consciousness is limited to its immediate environment and maybe a bit more, and to other, maybe some different cosmic rays and so on that affects us all. But then a human being is far more aware of the gross aspects of consciousness and yearning for subtler connectedness. Because we know the subtler it is, the more durable it is. The more gross it is, the more it is work in progress in a short-term type of way. So there are certain fundamentals in life that we want to preserve life. Every one of us, every living entity is obsessed with life. Everything you and I or any other living creature does is to prolong life, no matter what it is. Prolong life, and then comes improving quality of life. You want to prolong good life. You want to prolong well-beingness, contentedness, happiness. But you want it to be prolonged. You want it to be forever. Because your own nature, our own reality, is a cosmic light, which is in every heart. And that is the foundation of divine justice. We are all essentially the same. In essence, every one of us is a soul or a spirit, which is cosmic, which in its own nature has no beginning and no end. Whereas as humans, every one of us has a beginning and an end. There is a birth and there is a death. So that cycle actually simply highlights the need to awaken to the origin of it and the energizing factor in it, which is perpetuate, constant, eternal life emanating from a source which we give it different names. If you are religious, you call it God or Allah, and if you're not, you call it some other name, singularity or whatever. But there is a cosmic origin which is perpetual, self-energizing, continuous, and is not subject to comings and goings. That is why amongst the most important natural laws to bear in mind is that there are two zones of consciousness. One is conditioned and limited, that each one of us is subjected to. Today is not the same as yesterday. 5 minutes ago is not the same as now, and on and on. And yet, there is a constancy in that ever-present light. And that's why it's become fashionable to meditate upon the moment. If you can completely enter into the zone of the instant and the moment, then you are touching the zone of the infinite. So these are basic foundations and fundamentals which we will continue touching upon and elaborating as we go on.